The invitation, stamped with the royal cipher, is one of the most coveted in the world. A summons to the heart of the Windsor family's most sacred private tradition, Christmas at Sandringham. But this year, according to insiders speaking to outlets including E! News, two names will be notably absent from the guest list, and their absence speaks volumes about a quiet, decades-long evolution within the monarchy. The Queen's own children will not be attending. This is Royal Report 24/7, where we read between the lines of every guest list and seating chart. If you're fascinated by the unwritten rules that truly govern the royal family, this subtle but powerful story is for you. To understand the modern monarchy's delicate balancing act, subscribe and hit the bell. On the surface, the reasoning seems simple, even practical. Sources indicate that Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes have their own thriving families, their own cherished Christmas traditions to uphold. They are successful, independent adults with full lives quite separate from the goldfish bowl of royalty. Their mother, after all, now has duties that will keep her at the center of the royal Christmas spectacle. It's a natural parting of ways for the holiday, but in the nuanced language of the House of Windsor, nothing is ever that simple. This absence isn't a snub, it's a signal. It is the final, graceful acceptance of a boundary that has existed since the day Camilla married the then Prince of Wales. Her children, despite their mother becoming Queen Consort, have never been, and will never be, working members of the firm. And this Christmas, that line is being drawn not in the sand, but in the snow of the Sandringham estate. Let's consider what their presence would mean. It would blur those carefully maintained lines. It would introduce a non-royal, albeit deeply connected, family unit into the most symbolically important family gathering of the year. Photographers would scramble to capture them. Headlines would speculate on their dynamic with Prince William and Catherine's children. The narrative would shift from the royal family Christmas to the blended family Christmas, introducing a conversational thread about stepfamilies and modern dynamics that the institution, in its quest to project timeless stability, may not be ready to centrally feature. For King Charles, this is likely a relief wrapped in personal regret. His wife's children have always been a dignified and supportive part of her life, and by extension his. But his overarching project is the slimmed-down monarchy. That slimming applies to symbolism as much as to working royals. The Christmas walk is the ultimate visual of the core bloodline succession. The monarch, the heir, and the heir's heirs, including his stepchildren, however beloved, would dilute that powerful, focused image. For Queen Camilla, this is the quiet price of the crown. A mother's personal desire to have her entire family together for Christmas is overridden by the constitutional need for a clear, unambiguous royal tableau. Her acceptance of this is the ultimate act of royal duty, a sacrifice made not in the spotlight, but in the private arrangements of the holiday. It is her acknowledging that her historic role as Queen Consort now takes precedence over her personal role as matriarch of the Parker Bowles family, at least in this most public of private settings. The contrast is poignant. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, as blood granddaughters of a monarch, have historically been included, their presence a nod to family inclusion despite their father's status. Camilla's children represent a different category, the family of the sovereign spouse. Their graceful step back from the Christmas spotlight is a masterclass in understanding their unique position, close to the heart of power, but never on the steps of the throne. This isn't a story of exclusion, but of definition. It clarifies, once and for all, the beautiful but bounded space that Camilla's children occupy. They are the Queen's beloved family, but they are not royal. And in the highly choreographed ballet of a royal Christmas, that distinction must be visually preserved. Their absence isn't a cold shoulder. It's a respectful and perhaps bittersweet acknowledgement of a line that love crosses every day, but protocol cannot. The guest list is a map of power, love, and legacy. At Royal Report 24/7, we decode these subtle social cartographies. This Christmas, the most telling story won't be who is there, but who understands exactly why they are not. To follow these nuanced shifts in the royal landscape, stay with us. Subscribe, appreciate the analysis with a like, share this insight, and ring that bell. Some of the most powerful royal statements are made by an empty space at the table. This is Royal Report 24/7.